Hola amigos, Bones here with another history video. Today we look at a Latin American holiday that takes place immediately after Halloween. It's another holiday that I can walk around the city streets without someone calling the cops. Dia De Los Muertos, or Day of the Dead for those of you who need English subtitles. I'll be showing you info about the origins of this holiday that perhaps the movie Coco didn't explain. This holiday has similarities to Halloween and is often associated with the holiday in pop culture, but the fact is that the two holidays actually aren't related even with the church co-opting. For starters, Day of the Dead is celebrated pretty differently from Halloween. Both holidays feature plenty of skeletons, and they have the same belief that the period between autumn and winter is when the veil between the living and the dead is thin enough for the dead to cross over. The spirits of deceased children cross over on November 1st, while the adults cross over on November 2nd. So the holiday is really a two-day affair. But unlike Halloween, Day of the Dead is about deceased family members coming back rather than any evil spirits or creatures of the night. So despite all the skeleton art used as symbols and the other similarities to Halloween, Dia de los Muertos isn't meant to be scary. It never was. It was always meant to be a happy occasion. So in that way, Coco is more accurate than any made-for-TV horror movies you may have seen about the holiday. It's not a time for hiding from evil. It's a time for celebrating the dead with lots of food, music, and colorful decorations that are all done as tributes for the visiting spirits. People would go to the gravestones of passed on relatives and bring their favorite foods, drinks, maybe even a drink or two. So where did this holiday in its present form come from? Well, for this we have to go back to when the church was busy adopting customs from other cultures in order to convert more natives to Christianity. Remember, both the ancient Celtics and the Aztecs believed in the thin veil taking place right in the middle of fall. It was the church that moved their holiday of All Saints' Day to line up with Samhain and the original Aztec festival, which was called the Festival of Mictlantecuhtli, the Aztec goddess of death. But the Christian Spaniards who came over weren't happy about any other god being worshipped, so they pushed the festival away from any Aztec gods and influenced the Latin American people to celebrate it more like All Souls' Day. Since then, Mexicans morphed the holiday to be closer to the original celebrations while still containing some of that Christian influence, but also added aspects that held true to Latin American culture. It made Day of the Dead more unique from the European versions of All Souls' Day. From there, these traditions for celebrating Dia de los Muertos quickly spread to Central America, South America, and even some regions in the United States with large Latinx populations. Modern Dia de los Muertos contains a few notable traditional items that are very culturally significant to the holiday. First, the ofrenda, or altar. It's where a family would place photos of passed on family members. In a callback to the Aztec traditions, food and drinks are left on these altars as offerings to the dead to help them on their journey between the two worlds. It's usually whatever is each relative's favorite as a tribute to them. But another important item for helping the dead cross over to our world and come back again is the petal of a marigold flower. It's said that marigolds contain spiritual powers that can guide spirits along with their colors and smell. So several petals are spread along the ofrenda as well as on the gravestones. Papel picados, or perforated paper, is another callback to Aztec traditions. It's a modernized version of chiseling figures of spirits into pieces of wood. These pieces of paper art are then hung over ofrendas to represent the element of air, one of the four elements the Aztecs would pray to. Finally, we have the skeletons and skulls that you see a lot of in paintings and desserts. They represent the spirits of the dead in an artistic way, but they didn't become widespread until social activist Jose Posada painted some in protest to the trend in Mexico of Mexicans wanting to look more like Europeans. He, like a few others, felt that they shouldn't try to whitewash themselves, and should instead embrace their heritage more. His message seems to have gotten through, since now every Dia de los Muertos, you'll see a lot of people painting their faces with skulls. The one time of the year townspeople want to look like me. It's awesome! So now you know more about Dia de los Muertos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with some more fun post-Halloween videos. Adios, amigos!